let's edit this. I should just do this in Krita. Here we go. Okay, so I have a grid. There we go. I can set it to, I think it's 32 by 32. I don't see it. Oh, hit the checkbox. Okay, I'm gonna have to go 16 by 16. There we go. And move this, both of these, over. Like that. That way they line up with the tile set. This tool only works on vector layers. Wait, what? We're gonna have vector layers. That is cool. But I want, is it this? Okay, save it, go back here. Then in my sprite sheet, yeah, those just popped over. I'm gonna go to the background layer, and I'm gonna put this there. Maybe I'll put that there like that, and then I'll move the roof. So it'd be like that, and then what are those? Oh, I'm just putting all that in the background. Put that in the foreground, solids. Like so, okay, and then that can go. Get that out of the way. Yeah, something like that. And then I'll make this floor go extended. So this is going to be a door. And my alien can already make it to that spot. So when he gets to the door, he's going to have to turn around. Is it that piece? Wow, okay. So then it's just going to be a game object, I believe. I'm going to have to get to the sprite editor though. So let's move this out of the way. Tile set, and this one I believe. I didn't want to do that though. So what's the difference? They're not the same file. The one's a PSD file. And then there's this one. Okay, so I will open. This one looks like it's all set up for that, but it's also blurry. So we'll use this one. Open the sprite editor, bring it down here so you can see. That's not sliced the way my tiles are sliced. And this surely isn't. Okay, there we go, that's better. What was my notification? Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to take this one, and I'm just going to, do I just hit delete, and then take this one and pull it down like that, so it's one big shape. I'm going to not do that there. Because if I want to have a door that's taller, I can do that. And I'll just make another one of these that's like taller. For example, Setzer, how you doing? Is it pasted? Okay. How are things on your side of the world? Your side of the country? Okay, take this. I see that some of the Amazon layoffs that I was reading about extends into Twitch territory. It's not going to be Dan Clancy, though. Like, that's what everybody's waiting for. Getting cold. What's the temperature there? Oh, you have a storm, didn't you? I think I saw you had like a storm with a high percentage, high chance of tornado. The YouTube weatherman was talking about it. So here, maybe, there we go. It's 51, that's kind of warm. But it'll drop. Oh, that's cool. I'm not gonna have to run my defrosters in the morning like I did this morning. It was in the 40s. And we got rain. That sucks. Okay. I don't need the sprite editor anymore. Just apply it, close it. And maybe I will. Can I do the selection tool? Select those and then move it here. Do I have a tile map layer? Is that really there? Solids. Oops. Oh, it did work for that. I want it to work for this. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to just use the eraser. Erase that. Go to the background. Erase that one. Then I can paste that there. And now that's weird. It's an anomaly. And my tile set it's offset by 1 for some reason. I don't want to draw that there though. I want to open this, go down here and find that piece. 16 by 32. I want this one. And I'm just going to drag it out here because it's going to be an object. And I don't know if I want to code, oh gosh, let's move this to the objects layer. Code something that will automatically put, like line this up with the tile set, or just leave it like that. We don't need a rigid body, but we do need a collider, and I'm going to make it a box collider. Yep, good enough. And then I'm going to need a script. So I think what I'm going to do is have the script on the door that says how much energy it takes to turn it off. Is that backwards? Like these are gonna, you put the energies in here and then that powers it off. Or I have a wall switch, and the wall switch can't work unless it has all the necessary power. And then the wall switch can turn the door on and off. I think I'll do that. And then, so let's start with a script for the door, and I might need to make a quick sprite or a tile for the wall switch on and off. And one without power. Scripts folder here. Okay. And then objects. Create one of those. I'm going to call it just door. I'm going to make it a door monitor. Right, because it monitors the door state. It monitors the switches. If I call it door, then I'm going to be more inclined to make another door script that inherits this door script. Like this is going to be a door laser. Let's open up both of these. They haven't merged chats yet. That's something that apparently they said they're going to release. There's also some AI stuff that is available to me. Most of it's available to me. I don't have the AI clipper yet, but I can do analytics. But I'm sure basically if I try to use the analytics, be like, hey, what am I doing wrong? It'd be just be like, get good. Okay, so this can inherit door. And then do I want to have multiple states? So I'm going to have an enum here. Internal enum. And this is going to be called door state. And it's going to have these states. It's going to have opening, open, closing, and closed. Why is opening and open not opened. Is that even a word? Opened. The door is opened. The door is open. Okay, and then internal door state. State. I'm not going to have any of those. So then this is going to have maybe a list of switches that it's going to monitor. So, and this is going to be a public list. And I don't have a switch script yet. So let's do that. And put that right in here too. Create a script, call it switch. That's a keyword also. I'll go for it. Let's see how much problems that'll give me. So I can use it there. Switches. And I have to say it equals a new list. It's not that thing though. Using system.collections.generic. There we go. New list switch. And let's put a header up here too. If I put the header here, will it be visible? If it's not immediately over the first publicly viewable. I want this to be a serialized field. I think I'm gonna leave this public though. I'll make it public if I need to turn around and make it public, I guess. Okay, and then this is just door. Yeah, it doesn't like it being there. So I'll put it here above this one. And does the inspector, I gotta add it to the door. I'm gonna rename this laser door. And I'm not gonna add the door script, I'm gonna add the door laser to it. Before I get too deep, should that be renamed? It just sounds like it's not. That's not what it's for. Should be door underscore to show that it's a from the door script, and call it laser door like that. Yeah, and then I'll delete this one. Okay, I'm gonna move this to the top. Oh yeah. Now I'll have the laser door script and get the sprite renderer and the box collider. Okay, that should complain. Yep, close it. And then this is a door. Then I'll put the header here for door underscore laser door. And this is going to be a public serialized field. Internal sprite renderer. And I want an internal, just a Collider 2D, generic. Like so. I guess they don't have to be serialized fields because I'm not going to assign them in the inspector. Right. I wonder why the, yeah. Okay, so an update, I'm going to call base.update, right? No, because it's not public. I didn't even add it anyways. I removed it. Let's change this to internal. Then I should be able to call it here. There it is. And in start, I'm also going to call base.start, but I have to add it over here. Okay. I'm wondering if in update of the door is where I should count the states of the switches. So here I'll have like a, but leave it to the extended doors. One of these is the wrong color. So there will be a internal boolean all switches on. Is false by default. And then in here I will have, oh, it changed back to its normal color. A public virtual void, or should this be a boolean? Check switch state, like that. And then we can do a for each switch SW and switches. Very close, but oh, did it say switch? Because yeah, switch is a keyword, so I'm not allowed to use lowercase s. Door switch. And then here I'm going to say return true. So the trick is if, oh, I need to put a boolean here. So we'll use a enumerator here. An internal enum switch state. And switches can only have 3 states. They are unpowered, on, and off. It's kind of like a null without saying null. And then a internal switch state. since this is going to return true if all of the states are on, should be like is all switches on, and then I can say if door switch dot state doesn't equal switch dot switch date dot on, right, then return false. So if we get through this loop and we don't break out because the switch is not on, then when we get out of this loop, we only have one possible logical solution, which is to return true. So in update, what's the physics update? Is it fixed update? This function is called every fixed frame rate frame, which is not the same as late update, which is called every frame. And then we say all switches on equals is all switches on. So that'll take care of setting the Boolean, but it will be up to the extended class to change the door state itself and to do whatever animations need to be done. One real quick thing. So I'm going to say like if state is door state dot closing state equals door state dot closed. Like we're not going to have a animation for going closing and opening. It's just going to be either the door is going to be on or off. So if the door state is door state dot opening, right, then we go straight to open. I don't need these. Make it a little bit cleaner. State equals door state, oops, open. I need that there. Jump to closed or open states. What's here? Why doesn't it like this? Expected semicolon not here? It's not. Okay. So then we can say if state is not door state dot open, I do need the word if there. I think is it PowerShell that doesn't require else if, it's just else. SQL is definitely not else if, it's just else. Okay, if it's open, then and is all switches on. That's a Boolean. Yeah. What did I call it? All switches on. Not is. So I am going to call it is. case. If it's opened and all switches on is false, then we're going to say state is state dot closed, right? And then we can say else if state, oh, let's make this say equals open. Yeah. If state here is door state dot closed and is all switches on is true, then that we opened it. And then here we'll handle the sprite. Switch door state based on switches states. So here we're going to say sprite render is get component sprite render, collider 2D is get component collider 2D. Now we say if, I think here I want to remember the old state. Door state equals yeah. How heavy is it to constantly set a sprite's enabled property along with a collider's enabled property? So if state is open, this is going to require brackets, and then just a simple else without an if, because there's no other possible state there. If it's open, then sprite renderer dot enabled is false and collider 2D enabled is false. If the door is closed, then the sprite renderer dot enabled is true, and a collider is true. So let's make some switches first before I run this, because there's no switches tied to it, and I'm going to do this good to the background. I wonder if I should make some smart tubing that changes color based on the power also. Like right now these are dead. And if you put energy here, should this like light up? And I'd have to do some funky like A-star pathfinding to make sure that I don't light this up. That's some Minecraft redstone type stuff. Where is my tubing here? Is it in a dark gray area? Here we go. For now I won't, but that's an option. Make sure I'm in the background. Okay, and then I'm going to get into the sprite editor here. Or my tile map editor. And I think this color here is probably going to be the best one to use. Let's go in here. Select this. That's the only area that I'm working with. Oh, I'm going to need 3 of them. Cowboy Bob, I wasn't paying attention to that side of the chat. Sensors in the vertical mode. You started a new project today and you'll see if it lasts. Haha. You've finally kind of gotten used to the new input system now. Oh, that's cool. Is it new, or is it like the latest one, which was still kind of like 2 years old, 3 years old? Or you have to set like the controller type and each button goes to whatever method. I kind of I think it was Retro Void. I made it so that I had kind of like input get button, but it was like my own class that was based on the new input system. Get the mover, and that has to be here. And I'll leave that just like that. And then I'll draw. Ooh, I don't want to see the pixels. That's weird. Outlines around the pixels. And is it control? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so for that, now I need the box. And I said I like these colors here. I wonder if this dark color is the same as that, or if it's that one. Why can't I move it? No pixels are selected. Is it here? That's a control copy, and then over here, gotta paste. There we go. Okay, and that's just gonna be a palette. So let's go over here. So what is your new project? I'll start with the box that is unpowered. So I'm thinking like yellow. Do I have to be up here? Okay. Or just gray. And then I can have a handle that like a lever switch. Make that a little bit bigger. What did I get? That's this, so I want this color first. Okay, good. It's not the same as the background color, but it is the same as the dark color on the cabling conduit. Like that. And then probably something in the grays for maybe something like that, maybe closer. And then do I have something darker that I can use? That. So when you get up to this, And this might have to be an object, not a, oh. Yeah, why didn't I think of that? Let's not have the background here, because I'll just have a background elsewhere. Where is it? Was it in here that I put it? Okay, so these ones go bye-bye. This I don't need anymore. This also I don't need. I do need that. I gotta clean that up though. That kind of makes it hard to see though, using not having a background. Okay, I do need a box here though. For the background that goes down to the conduit that goes down to the switch. Where's my move tool? Okay. And then use shortcuts. Something like that. And then, so that'll be the background, and then I'll have an object over top of it, which is the switch. So now that this is ready, oh, I wasn't on the right one to select. Was it this? This guy, okay. Gonna have to move this window over here so I can see chat. It's a game about being a farrier, starting out with nothing and working your way to a success, gain experience doing jobs and gaining money to buy better equipment. Okay. It's that game loop that everybody's talking about. Want either a random starting money and skills, or you choose kind of how you start, similar to how the Oregon Trail starts you. Okay. So you're given like a bucket of money basically, and you then choose your beginning stuff. And is there a randomness to it then, like how Oregon Trail has random? Can I merge this down? Merge is Control E, okay. And then if I hit Control E again, and again, and again. Okay. So this one is going to, I need my color palette. Where did it go? There we go. I want a red, but I don't want, yeah, fine. So that's down, that's off, and I kind of want to go like that. Can I just make a shine? Like a glow. Is it still too bright? Oh, you know what I can do? I can change the opacity. Select that red, but at a very low opacity. There we go. And that kind of is the glow. it'll look better on the green. And then here I need this, change the opacity back. And then this is flipped up. And that was about 12% on the last one, I think. So I'll go down to 12 here. Cool. Okay. Save. And back in Unity, I'm going to take the first state of the door and I'll drag it out here, and then I'll have like I'll put all three states in sprites so that I can swap them. You will have lots of randomness because some horses can be more dangerous and have a possibility to hurt you or use more stamina. Are you going to have to worry about your own medical bills? Tile set. Okay, this one's still expanded. I kind of wish I could just grab from the tile palette and pull one out, but because I want to make it a game object. Shrink. What are you doing? Cool. So this goes like up here. Like that. I need to go back to the scripts folder and make whatever, like a lever switch. That's an object. So I have the switch. So I'm going to create another one. This is going to be called switch lever switch. And it's going to have to know the power modules that go to it. And that's just that thing that I just had up, the powered. Where'd it go? Powered switch. That's probably not the best best naming convention, but okay. So it's got powered on sprite, powered off sprite, is on is false. I think for now I'm just going to leave that like that. But I need a list of those here. The header is going to expose switch, lever switch, and an internal. Before I start typing the list, using system collections generic, then I can have a list of powered switch, powered switches, And then this is also going to have to count those. So does that mean maybe this switch should be, the list of powered switches should be in the switches, in the switch script? Maybe close one or two of these. Just so I'm seeing what I'm currently working with. Okay. So this will be internal boolean is all switches on. And it's going to be the same logic. So let's paste this here. And I'm going to expose this so I can see it in the inspector as well. And the same logic as the actual switch, or the door, yeah. So I'll do a for each powered switch, in powered switches, and then if powered switch dot is on is false, then return false. Otherwise, we return true. So if we don't have any of these powered switches connected to the switch, then by default, it's always going to be powered. If it's unpowered and then goes back to powered. So, okay, we're gonna need to do this. Unpowered on and an unpowered off. Right, so that means if we turn it off and we cut the power, when we need to remember where the switch state was when we cut the power, so that when we turn it back on, we don't accidentally flip it to undesired state. So there's unpowered on. So I'll say, I'm going to change this around. So by default, unpowered off, because it's first, and on. So we do this in, what was the update? Fixed update. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, you can go into debt. Very interesting. It could be cool though. There was a game for the Super Nintendo. It was Aerobiz, and you kind of just manage an airport. You buy planes, set ticket prices and stuff like that, and oddly enough, it's quite entertaining. So here we're going to say old state. No, we don't need to do that. We're going to do if arg. Is all switches on. We're going to need to put this into a variable. This needs a capital I as a method. And this is going to be an internal boolean is all switches on. And then in the fix update, we're going to say is all switches on equals the method is all switches on. So if there's going to have to be 4 ifs, I think. So if is all switches on is true, not tree. And then we need to say if state is unpowered off, then switch state, or state equals unpowered on, like that. So if it was unpowered off, oops, and we turn to power on, then the state just becomes regular off, like that. Else if is all switches on is true. Do I need to do anything else for the on? No, so I say if it's false, and oh yeah, I do. If it's true and the switch state is unpowered on, then we go to straight powered on. There we go. And then we do the reverse. So if is all switches on is false, and the state, actually, do I want to wrap this like if all switches on is true? Would it look better? I don't think there's any performance issue, but so this is in the event that all switches on is true, then we go down here and we see if we need to turn it on from powered off to off, powered on to on. Yes, and then we'll do the kind of the opposite here. If state is it, can I just say off? Look at there we yeah. Then state equals unpowered off. Else if state is on, then state is unpowered on. Am I ready for the food stamp apocalypse? We were discussing possibly going and stocking up like tomorrow before that day that the food stamps aren't going to show up hit, because who knows what's going to happen. I don't think this area is going to see a lot of crime, but you never know. And I half expect Democrats to to cave. I could be wrong, but that's my thought. Oh. What do you think? You're kind of closer to the bigger city, aren't you? It might get a little bit more nasty there. Dallas, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the percentage of Section 8 housing, like my village doesn't have that, but in the two major towns beside us, there are. It's not major. Maybe 4 with about 800 units each. No, not even that, huh? Maybe 400 each. So an unpowered Sprite, public Sprite. No, I'm just gonna say like on and off. Oh. Oh no. You know what I need? I need an unpowered on switch. So we'll take these two, I'll move them over here. And how much magic can I work with this to get it flipped? Oh, no. All I gotta do is draw the line, don't I? Like that. Wait, did I not literally just click that? Like that, okay. So that's unpowered off, unpowered on, powered off, powered on. Okay, save it. You'll be right back. I'll also be right back. Told you. So this is unpowered on sprite, powered on sprite, public sprite, unpowered off sprite, and public sprite, powered off sprite. Yeah. So this is that. Let's add this to it. Please fix errors. Oh yeah. I did see an error somewhere, didn't I? Yeah, I changed this to is all switches on. And now yes, this is what I want to put there. I need to my sprite sheet. Okay, so this is unpowered off. This is unpowered on. I know it's hard to see. This is powered off and powered on. Cool. Power switches. Okay. And now these two game objects have to go in here. Yeah. So now in the lever switch, lever, this one. Yeah. If is all switches on, which this is for the lever. All switches on. Can I say all powered on instead? That makes more sense, doesn't it? I was in my head I was going to use those energy blocks as switches, but then I didn't really care for the idea of being able to pull the power block out. If you already have something in your hand, you'd have to drop it in order to carry the power block. So I'm going to rename it. This to is all powered on. And the variable is also going to be renamed to is all powered on as well. It's all power on. That would be better. You cannot rename it. I just did. That's a capital I. No, I didn't just do that, did I? Okay. Fine. Is all power on. Okay. So back to the switch. If is all power on, is true, then we do some stuff here. Else if is all powered on is false. I don't know if I needed the if there, but then I can say if is all power on is true and we were in an unpowered state. So if state equals switch state dot unpowered off. Oops. Put that there, get rid of that. Then state is equal to is switch state dot on. You are not the else for this. Else if state is unpowered on, then we go to powered on, or just regular on, yes. Is it going to read like that? Oh, I need an open bracket. That's why. Close bracket. Okay, so if the power is changed to on, then we change the state of the switch from an unpowered to a powered state. And now if, and I wonder if I should rename that to powered on and powered off, since my sprite names are like that. Yeah, I'll do that. So if state is switch state dot, this is gonna be on, Then we go to state unpowered on, else. Yeah, this definitely has to have a if in here. If state is just off, then state equals unpowered off. I'm gonna put that in here too. If is all powered on equals false. Just to make it easier to read. And now, real quickly, I'm gonna go and rename these. To powered off. Rename that to powered on. So these 4 states are on and off, but also unpowered and powered. States of the switch. I guess I could have done like a powered state and a switch state and had like on and off and on and off, but this will work. So these are going to be public. So that the switch here can do the base updates. Powered switch. Yeah, sorry, that's not what I wanted. Lever switch, here we go. Base.start, and down here I'll do a base.update. Okay, so here I need to do if state is switch state dot, we'll start with unpowered off. Oop. Then we're gonna set, we need to get our sprite renderer. Private sprite renderer, and then sprite render equals get component sprite renderer. So now we can say sprite renderer dot sprite equals unpowered off sprite. Okay. Else if state, what was that? It looked like it said satellite something something. Switch state dot powered off. Then sprite renderer equals powered off sprite. And then the on states, switch state dot unpowered on. Gosh, I don't know why it's trying to do that. Sprite renderer dot sprite equals unpowered on sprite. And then the final state. Like that. Is that it? Did I assign the sprites? I did. Let's rename these. Can I do that here? No, I have to open up the sprite editor. So let's do that. This thing. This is switch unpowered off. Switch unpowered on. Switch powered off. POWERED. And then switch powered off on. Okay. Apply that. Oh, what's the deal here? Oh, that's in the on the sprite. Let's fix that. I want to erase it. So I'm just going to grab the eraser here from my tile palette. I'm on solids, eraser tool, swipe those away. Okay. Then this is going to be called a lever switch. I'm not going to call it switch, lever switch, I don't think. And then these names all change because I changed them in the sprite sheet. And I can verify that they're all right. So one thing I can do is I can put the energies in here and this should turn red. I've been editing for almost, what, 2 hours? Hour and a half, and I haven't hit run yet. How often do you hit run? Yeah, and I don't know what the alien is going to do when he gets over there. Oh, this is a new wall. This is a new thing for him. Is he just going to go through it or get stuck? Oh. Okay, so he's just going to go back and forth and back and forth. This door disappeared. I have to wait until this thing starts like that. And I come over here. And oh, I don't have like a little E thing on this thing. I'm going to change the sprite of the energy. Oh, I gotta take it so that it doesn't look like the E keyboard key. Or I changed the E keyboard key. I'm stuck, guys. Let's find the player. Gonna have to drop him and hit over. Okay. Okay, and see that lit up. It's red now. So it does have power. I also saw on itch.io like a keyboard sprites for each key. But if you're using a controller, I might also need those buttons instead of an E. And then the energy can stay E. Yeah, that's what I'll do. This thing is not supposed to be there. So when I approach this, I'm gonna need that as well. So I'm gonna need a trigger to go around my lever switch. And that's just gonna be a box collider with his trigger turned on. And I will handle that in the lever switch script. So on, I want to do on stay or on trigger, enter and exit. So on trigger, enter, and this is when the Collider 2D other enters the trigger. That's our trigger. Okay, and then on trigger exit 2D. So we're gonna have to get the, I'm gonna steal this from my power container powered switch. Yeah, I basically have this. Let's see, this character, I need this variable. Put it there. This character game object get component player movement dot enabled equals true. I don't disable the player movement. I do need a link to the E thing, powered switch. Oh, I don't have one even here, so I need to get it from the vending machine. The vending machine code should be an object. It is not. It's in its own thing. Okay, so this is it's called Press E. There it is, Press E prefab. And so that's the game object, and this is the local position as just a vector 3. And I display that somewhere else. Here, this press E. So I will put private game object, press E prefab. It's not. And this. The instantiated instance of the press E prefab. I'm gonna paste that over here too, just because. And I think it belongs. Here. Why did my music stop? This is my weird local playlist. So the vending machine on trigger enter. Press E equals instantiate that. Transform position equals that. And that all depends on trigger enter. I'm going to put that in an on trigger stay. 2D. Only because it could be possible that you're standing, you enter the trigger, and then one of your teammates turns the power on, and you won't trigger the on trigger enter after that to be able to turn the switch on and off. So I'll do it on the on trigger stay. I will check to see if we need to show that little up and down stuff. Makes sense? No. So we're going to start with player character PC. If collision dot try get component try get component, sorry, out PC. Then we say if PC is the local player, this character, exit, no, is local owner. I don't care if you have any current item. If his local owner is true, and then we say if press E I'm putting all this in the wrong spot. I'm closing that so I don't do it again. Here. I do have all my variables. Yeah, okay. So if press E is null, then the same code from the vending machine, we instantiate that. And then when we exit the collider, and I assume we just say destroy, yep. And do we say this character is null? So on exit, this character is null, and we destroy the press E. This all depends on if state is switch state dot powered on, or state is switch state dot powered off. If it's unpowered, you can't do anything. Ooh. If you walk up to it and you hit the switch, you should be allowed to hit the switch if it's powered on or off. Yes. So I still need a, if you press E here, and I'll take that from the vending machine too, because it's not E, it's like interact. Yeah, interact 1 and interact 2. The switch. Let's get these close together. So like door, switches, vending machine can be in the middle. That's fine. Okay, so here. If input get key down that, and then that's only if press E is not null. And that's kind of our indicator that the character is standing in front of the switch. And it's get key down, not just get key. So this on this frame, if I press down, and it better be on update, yeah. Oh, wait. This needs to go down here. This is the changing of the sprite. So here I'm going to change the state. I'm going to copy this. So we're going to, no, it's going to look more like this one up here. If we're standing in front of the switch, press E not equal null, and press E, then toggle the switch state. SWITCH state. Okay. If it's powered on, is all powered on equals true, then we're going to toggle the unpowered. No, maybe I should just do it like this down here. Right? Like if we're unpowered off, then state equals switch state unpowered on, like that. And then here, this is powered off, so this is state equals state dot powered on. This is unpowered on, so this goes to unpowered off. And then powered off. I guess semicolon there. Cool, so I should be able to now go over and turn it on and off. Don't know why the door decided to disappear. Let's check that real quick though. So laser, so first door, door is closed by D. Oh, well, it's not. So let's go. I just changed the state over here, right? Closed. The switches is going to be just this one. So it might be hard to tell. Let's go over here and hit. Oh, I don't have an E. I didn't. There's an error because I didn't assign it, isn't there? Yeah. So I need to go into my prefabs. And it's this thing here. Go to the switch. And it's right here. This goes right there. So let's make this bigger. Makes it a little bit easier to see. So I go here. I'm definitely going to have to raise that up. But I move away. Oh, it didn't destroy that either. Here. On trigger exit 2D. This character on enter. If local owner, okay. I should say here, if PC equals this character. But here, oh, I don't need any of that. Okay, and then I will raise that position of the E thing up a little bit. That would be in the Y position. Let's do like 0.25. See what happens there. Oh, I can also zoom in. It's still low, so I'll have to raise that a little bit more. And change, maybe go over to the right one. Okay, so it's down. Yeah, see it's going up and down. And now, let's go get some energy. What happened to my alien? Oh, he got stuck. Cool. Okay, let's raise that up. So did he make a whole lap before the variable e sprite of collectible has not been assigned? Debug.log inventory slot 2.name. Player inventory update. Let's not. Okay, so here. So what is 32 divided by, what is 1 divided by 32? That needs to be that for the X to make it go over 1 pixel. And then this, I think 0.5, although that might be too much. I also do want to verify that the alien is making a complete lap. Sad. I need that. I don't think it's random. Okay, so that turned red. Now it's green. On and off. If I turn it on, I can't pull those out, but can I do that over here? Can I just hit like, yeah. That's a thing though, right? So powered switch, I turn this off. Oh, okay, yeah. And I turn it on. On means the door is open. Red means the door is closed. Okay. I might have a Boolean in the switch for like negative logic, so it swaps that. But yeah, little guy, you're not grounded? Does he get grounded when it's not random, right? I didn't put any randomness in there yet. Toe collision. I wonder if I need a block here. Am I allowed to do that while it's running? I don't have these inverse shapes. That's a scene. Oh, that's a platform clone. Let's go to solids. And is it too late? That's the shape? No, it's just kinda. right? It's just one of those. What the heck is tile map? You know what I should do? I should paint that background now. No. Yeah. Pro. Okay, it must be random. Oh, now he's gonna fall to his death. Okay, I have completed what I wanted to complete and a little bit more. I was just thinking the door would work off the script or off the switch, but then I remembered that I had these things, and now that's all good. Background. I can overlap just in case. Is there, yeah, some of this stuff? Actually, I'm gonna change the solids layer back to the way it was here. Why can't I delete? Are they somewhere else? Are they on platform? Yeah, okay. Go back to solids. Draw this. Are you on the solids layer, or are you just a thing? You're an object that needs to be moved to the objects layer. There we go. And now go back to the background. I grabbed the wrong one. Cool, something like that. All right, guys. I will record a little clip to share on my socials. And thanks for stopping by. Later.